I think first and foremost, it was great getting into the Coliseum. You know, I want to make sure we're comfortable in this environment, in this arena. You know, I'm very accustomed to practicing in the stadium for the last 5 years. That's what we did every single day. So probably as much as anybody, I want to be comfortable in here, calling plays and the team feeling comfortable. And I thought today was very good. Again, I thought our energy, our enthusiasm was there. Our competitive spirit was very high. Maybe at sometimes a little too high, which we need to learn. We need to learn how to practice. But all in all, I thought we got great work in the special teams phase. Again, we really worked the kickoff return phase. I'm excited about that. I think we've got some really talented guys back there that have a chance to do something special for us. It should be a weapon for us, the return game, which we'll continue to work on. I really feel like our punt team is starting to come together. We touched on Chris yesterday. But it's not just the punter. It's the snapper. It's the protection. It's the coverage unit. I think that group's really coming together. And I thought our kickers and field goal wise had a really solid day today as well. So, you know, we're trying to bring it all together. And there's 3 phases to this thing, and putting it all together. And I really think that we've made really quality strides here in the first 4 practices. And we'll get a pretty good test of it all tomorrow and day 5, where we'll get to go full pads. There'll be no installation on offense or defense. It'll be a big review day. We don't want the guys thinking about new plays or new formations or any of that. We want those guys coming out confident in what they can do and playing football tomorrow.
Of those 3 incoming freshmen who are conceivably offense or defense, Adoree seems like the only one who's played on both sides.
Yeah.
Are you going to have the other guys play on defense?
We're going to discuss that Sunday. You know, those other guys, we said, you know, as we started, we said, we know we need to see Adoree. The other guys, let's give them 5 practices here. I should say Saturday, excuse me. Let's give them 5 practices. Let's go be able to evaluate the film, evaluate the rest of our roster. And then we've got a big staff meeting Saturday to not just those 3, but our entire roster, where we review our entire roster, the depth chart, things of that nature, other potential position moves. And so that'll be one of the topics for sure.
With George and Adoree kickoff returns, you got 2 completely different kind of guys. Will you do different things with them, kind of?
I don't know. Again, so much of the last 2 days we've really worked the return game. They've been catching kicks the entire time, but we've really worked the return game the last 2 days. And they're both very talented at it. You know, the third guy, Justin Davis, I think is going to be very good at it as well. That's a great problem to have when you've got too many of something that you think they're good at. So we'll sort through it. We'll figure it out. You know, we'll have a variety of returns. We won't be totally one-dimensional in that phase. And what we have to do is gather the information enough to know, is one guy better at a certain return than the other? And then sometimes it's who's hot, who's got the hot hand, you know, who you feel good about back there. So a lot of those decisions get made as you go through the season, you work your way through the season. But we do have a luxury of really talented guys that could all go back there and do stuff, not just those 3.
Go ahead.
Putting guys on the line to have them run today. What was that about?
We just have to learn to practice. And, you know, what I appreciate about our group is I never feel like I have to push them to get going. A lot of times I have to kind of hold them back at times. And if we're going to be a really good team, we're going to be physical. We're going to tackle when it's time to tackle. But we also need to be a smart team. And when it's a period where we are not going to the ground, we need to learn to stay off the ground. And I felt like we were just going to the ground too much, and it was time to send a little bit of a message to get their attention. And I thought they responded really well. They came back the rest of the practice the way we're capable of. That didn't change our physicality at the line of scrimmage. That didn't change our energy. It didn't change our enthusiasm. It didn't change our competitive nature. We just didn't fall down and start rolling into each other, because that's when people get hurt. Guys, I'm not worried about the guy making the tackle. I'm not necessarily worried about the guy getting tackled. I'm worried about the other 20 players on the field that can get rolled up on, rolled into, and that's how you get ankles and knees, and those are the things that we need to prevent.
Getting back to Adoree real quick, he's returning kicks, playing defense, playing offense. He even took a handoff today. Are you concerned at all about like some sort of overload, too much?
Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, I am, and I think that's why we've done everything in moderation. Again, you know, we've really counted his reps so we know exactly what he's doing in every phase. And so when you just look at sheer number of reps, his reps aren't more necessarily than the other guys, but it is a lot on him mentally. So much of what we're doing is trying to gather information. He's such a different athlete. He's such a unique player. where is he best suited for our team right now? And that might not necessarily be the same thing 3 years from now, but where can he help us the most right now? And so we knew going in this first week it was going to be a lot on him. To his credit, to Adorie's credit, he's had a wonderful attitude about it. I mean, he's just been unbelievable. He's energized. He loves it. He's excited. He keeps making plays on both sides of the ball and in the return game. So I'm trying to find a flaw right now with the guy, but he's prepared. He studies. He gets his rest. He recovers. He comes energized, and then ultimately he knows what he's doing, and he's making plays. So we'll see how far he can go with it.
Do you find yourself, coming up with new plays like there we saw, Buck flaring one way and Adoree the other way, and like trying to? Do you find yourself now coming up with little plays that you didn't think about, and that you think, what if we could do this or that?
Sure. I mean, that's all constant, and I'm, for us, I'm fortunate. We're at a luxury. We've got a great offensive staff, and when you talk about Clay, T. Marcus Tuiasosopo, you're looking at 3 former quarterbacks right there that have a great mind for the game. And then you look at Tim Drevno and his expertise at running the football and what he's done, and Johnny Nansen and what he, knowing our offense from the University of Washington a year ago. We've got a very creative group. We've also got a tough-nosed, tough-minded group. And I'm fortunate I get to go meet with these guys every night, and they're very bright. They're great coaches, and we just try to play the strength of the team. And I've said that before. We need to have enough versatility in our systems that we can play to the strengths of our team. And I think we're starting to gather more information about our players and what they're good at, and maybe the things they're not as good at. And we're gradually starting to tailor to more of those things, but also having fun with the versatility of our players. Buck Allen is an extremely versatile player for a guy that can line up and run the ball. Can catch the ball extremely well out of the backfield. Now we're learning this guy can catch the ball not necessarily lined up in the backfield, but getting wide in the perimeter. And our thought is if you get Buck Allen or Trey Madden the ball in space right now, it's even that much harder to tackle a guy with their talents. And so we're working with it a little bit. We're tweaking different things at different times. But the end result is we just want to make sure whatever we're doing, we're really good at. And it's not just for the sake of running a bunch of different plays. We want to make sure we're good at it. And it's sound. It has answers for whatever defenses present to us.
Guys, real quick, did anyone not practice today?